Leela Downs. My role model is Leela Downs. She was born in Oaxaca, Mexico in 1968. She is a Mexican-American singer-songwriter and actress. At the age of 8, she started singing mariachi songs. She became a professional singer when she was at school. Her family emigrated from Mexico to the U.S. when she was 14. While they were living there, her father died. After that, Leela and her mother moved back to Mexico. While she was working in her mother's store, she met her future husband, the musician Paul Cohen. He had a business in the U.S., so Leela moved from Oaxaca to Minnesota. She went to the University of Minnesota. While she was studying there, she started a music group called La Trova Serrana. It was very successful, and Leela decided to leave school to focus on music. Leela had a small role in the movie Frida and worked on the music for the movie Like Water for Chocolate. Here are 3 things you probably don't know about Leela. In 2010, while she was traveling the world on her Black Magic Woman tour, she revealed that she had an adopted son named Benito Gelati. In 2014, scientists named an insect after her. The Leela Downsia fraile is a very colorful grasshopper. They named it after her because Leela often wears colorful traditional clothes. She sings in Spanish, English, and her native language of Mixtec. I really look up to Leela Downs because she looks for ways to improve people's lives through music. I'd love to meet her and ask her this question. What were you singing about in the song Shake Away?
We asked 4 people to tell us about memorable events. Here's what they said.
I remember we were walking downtown to buy groceries. Suddenly, a police officer shouted, "Hide!" We hid in a cafe. A man said wild animals escaped from a zoo. I don't remember feeling scared. I think I was worried that they would kill the animals. Luckily, they caught the animals.
I was watching the game at my friend's house when the phone rang. It was my mom. She said my wife was having the baby. I raced to the hospital. We lost the game 2-1, so it was the end of our World Cup, but that wasn't important. I was so thrilled about the new baby.
I was working for NASA on the Mars mission when it happened. My boss called me in the middle of the night while I was sleeping, so I was very confused. "The Italians found an underground lake on Mars!" he shouted.
When the plane came down, we were staying in a hotel. I turned on the TV, and what I saw was unbelievable. All the people were standing on the wings of the plane. I was so glad that everyone was okay. I decided to train to become a pilot after that. About 2 years ago, my cousin was walking home when he saw a woman. He thought it was me. A month later, my friend said, "I saw you in the library last week." "But I was on vacation in Hawaii last week," I said. About a month after that, I was shopping for food when a woman came up to me. I looked at her and, well, she looked exactly like me. Same hair color, same eyes, same everything. While I was talking to her, I thought we might be related. She said she was an only child. She was adopted when she was 2 and lived in San Diego until she was 18. Her parents divorced when she was 8. She is engaged to a guy from Australia. I said I lived in Los Angeles until I was 12. I told her I was single and came from a large family. I have 7 brothers and sisters. We were laughing about how we looked the same, but how we had very different lives. Anyway, we exchanged phone numbers and said goodbye. Later on, I called my mom to check if I had a twin sister. She said I didn't. The next day, I called the woman and we agreed to meet for coffee. We see each other all the time now. I'm so glad I met her. In the end, she became one of my best friends. It was such an amazing coincidence that we met. About 2 years ago, my cousin was walking home when he saw a woman. He thought it was me. A month later, my friend said, "I saw you in the library last week." "But I was on vacation in Hawaii last week," I said. About a month after that, I was shopping for food when a woman came up to me. I looked at her and, well, she looked exactly like me. Same hair color, same eyes, same everything. While I was talking to her, I thought we might be related. She said she was an only child. She was adopted when she was 2 and lived in San Diego until she was 18. Her parents divorced when she was 8. She is engaged to a guy from Australia. I said I lived in Los Angeles until I was 12. I told her I was single and came from a large family. I have 7 brothers and sisters. We were laughing about how we looked the same, but how we had very different lives. Anyway, we exchanged phone numbers and said goodbye. Later on, I called my mom to check if I had a twin sister. She said I didn't. The next day, I called the woman and we agreed to meet for coffee. We see each other all the time now. I'm so glad I met her. In the end, she became one of my best friends. It was such an amazing coincidence that we met.
Victor Carlsson. Meet 20-year-old Victor Carlsson from Malmö, Sweden. When Victor was 8 years old, he became blind in an accident. With help from his family and friends, Victor is now a local hero in Malmö. Victor and his guide dog Charlie are helping improve the lives of blind children and adults by raising money. In 2018, Victor raised 1,500 euros, walking 111 kilometers between Malmö and Copenhagen. In 2020, he is planning to run a half marathon. Everyone looks up to Victor, says his friend Katya. He's a true role model. Petra Gonzalez. 19-year-old Petra Gonzalez saved her sister from a fire in their home in Mexico. Petra, a university student, woke up one night to the smell of smoke. She woke up her sister. She was carrying her sister out of their apartment when she saw the fire on the other side of the house. Amazingly, firefighters arrived in time to save both girls. Petra got an award from the local mayor. "I was really scared," said Petra, "but I was just doing what any sister would do." Mimi Callas. While Mimi Callas was working in a tourist office in her hometown in Greece, she noticed men and women on the streets asking for food. Mimi stopped working at her job and started a food service for homeless people. She collects extra food from stores and cooks up to 100 meals a day in the kitchen of a school. She gives out the food for free to anyone who needs it. "Without Mimi, we couldn't survive," said one man. "She is an amazing woman. I'm so glad she is here to help us."
Every day is a holiday. Take a look at your calendar for the year ahead. Some dates show an official event that people celebrate somewhere in the world. For example, Americans celebrate Independence Day on July 4th. On October 8th, the Japanese celebrate Health and Sports Day. A lot of people get the day off work and schools and businesses are closed. People may eat special food on these days or give and receive gifts. Then there are unofficial holidays. These are days when people sometimes arrange a party at school or at work. Unofficial holidays celebrate unimportant and fun things like food, movies, books, and TV shows. To show you what I mean, last week, a colleague said, "It's Take a Selfie Day." Today, you can take a lot of selfies. In my opinion, there's too much time spent taking selfies. You don't need a special day for it. There are a few websites that list all these celebrations. Think of any day of the year, and there is something to celebrate. I learned there are days of the year for everything. Read in the Bathtub Day, February 9th. World Yoga Day, February 22nd. And my favorite, Make Music Day, June 21st. A lot of days celebrate food, like Caesar Salad Day on July 4th and Eat a Peach Day on August 22nd. There are too many dates for me to remember. I am thinking of asking my boss if I can get the day off on the second Friday of March. It's World Sleep Day. And a little advice for you? Don't think of asking me to do anything on Lazy Day, August 10th.
Do you know what I don't like?
What?
Commercialization.
What do you mean?
Well, it's when businesses use celebrations to make money. For example, all the things for Valentine's Day, decorations, candy, cards, are in stores in January when the holiday is in February.
And Halloween stuff is in stores in September when the holiday is in October.
I have enough decorations. I don't need to spend money on new ones every year. It's easy to overspend.
Some people waste money on crazy costumes for Halloween. $100 for a monster costume. That's too much money.
Yeah, I found a great Halloween costume for $15 online. You can find cheaper things if you shop around.
That's true. I don't like commercialization. I know a few families who borrow money to pay for gifts at Christmas. They don't have enough money, but feel like they have to buy things.
That's too bad. Celebrations should be a time for rest and relaxation, not stress and buying.
Before I start cooking, I'd like to tell you a little bit about dumplings because they're a very important part of the celebration. It's traditional for families all over China to sit down together at midnight to eat them. In fact, they say that the person who eats the most dumplings will have good luck throughout the whole year. There are different types of dumplings, but I'm going to show you how to make fried vegetarian dumplings with mushrooms, water chestnuts, and green onions. So, for the outside of the dumplings, you will need 2 packages of dumpling wrappers. You can find these in Chinese markets or get them online. Next, you need the ingredients for the inside. 1 can of water chestnuts, 1 bag of green onions, 2 boxes of mushrooms, and 2 teaspoons of Chinese spices. You also need garlic and a small bottle of oil for frying. Now let's start cooking. Chop the water chestnuts, green onions, garlic, and mushrooms. Fry them in a little oil. Add the Chinese spices and stir. Cook for about 10 minutes until the mushrooms are soft. Now, let's wrap the dumplings. Put the dumpling wrappers in some water for 30 seconds until they're soft. Take a little mushroom mix and put it in the center of the wrapper. Don't add too much. Fold over the edge of the wrapper and press. There you go. You should get about 30 dumplings. Fry them for a few minutes on each side. You can also make a delicious sauce with 1 jar of sweet chili sauce, sesame seeds, chopped ginger, and half a bottle of soy sauce. There you go, my delicious Chinese New Year dumplings.
Sweden. Swedish graduates wear sailors' caps to their graduation ceremony. The ceremony usually starts with singing. Parents arrive and give their children gifts tied with ribbons, and the graduates wear the ribbons around their necks. At the end of the ceremony, there is a parade through the streets of the town, and local people come to congratulate the students. Japan. In Japan, graduation happens in March, before the new school year. High school students wear their school uniforms for their graduation ceremony. If their school doesn't have a uniform, they wear formal clothes, such as a suit for men and a kimono for women. The principal usually gives a speech. Then the student president gives a speech. United States. In the U.S., it's common for a famous person, sometimes a graduate of the university, or a politician to give a speech to congratulate the graduates. In some large American universities, the ceremony happens in a sports stadium. Students normally wear special caps and gowns in the colors of their university or department. South Africa. Graduates from the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg have an interesting musical tradition. The graduation ceremony there starts with a formal procession by the teachers and workers at the university. After that, they play the song, "I Got You, I Feel Good" by James Brown for the students to dance to. Argentina. Students in Argentina usually wear old clothes for their graduation ceremony. The reason? Family and friends throw sticky or messy food at the graduates, like flour, eggs, ketchup, and soda. It's supposed to bring them good luck.
Street entertainers from around the world. Juan Ese is a street entertainer from Buenos Aires. Everywhere I go, people always ask me what my trick is, he says, but I never tell anyone the secret of my act. Nobody knows. Juan sits for up to 4 hours at a time without moving, but says he doesn't get bored. What's amazing is that he looks like he's floating. Everyone thinks I'm doing nothing, but I'm actually watching everything around me. Marcel Debard, a fire eater and acrobat, works on the streets of Casablanca. I started performing about 15 years ago in a circus in Paris. Then someone asked me to help with the fire eating act, and I started to learn how to do it. Is it dangerous? Well, yes. But it's more dangerous for the audience. We have to make sure nobody gets hurt. That's why we blow the fire over the heads of the people. Huang Jun does a puppet show on the streets of Yangzhou, China. Puppets are popular forms of entertainment in China for adults and kids, he explains. In most puppet shows around the world, no one sees the person controlling the puppets. In Chinese puppet shows, everybody can see everything. It's part of the entertainment to see how we make the puppets move.
As part of our look at careers in the music industry, I'm talking to music producer Scott Fleming. Scott, how did you get into the music industry? Did you used to be in a band?
Well, no, I didn't. Actually, I started as a sound technician. I used to check the sound at music concerts. It was hard work.
I bet.
Also, I used to work as a DJ in a club. and then I went into music production.
And what does a music producer do?
I help bands produce their songs. We go into the studio together. Me, the lead vocalist, the backup singers, the band, and record the song.
And do you write the songs?
No, that's the job of the songwriter. Bands used to write their own music, but not so much these days.
And what's the most important change in the music industry?
I think it's probably the importance of music videos. Before MTV started in 1981, people used to listen to music on the radio. Bands used to only record music. But with the start of MTV, they needed to make music videos too.
Why?
Because the music video was important for marketing. Look at the music video for Thriller by Michael Jackson. It was 13 minutes long, and it changed the way people thought about music. I was 14 at the time of Thriller. It was awesome.
It seems these days people go crazy for the dances in the videos. In 2012, Gangnam Style, a popular music video from Korea, became world famous.
Exactly. That's the power of the internet. YouTube started around 2005. Now, anybody can make a music video, post it to YouTube, and become successful. People didn't used to do that.
You're right. I read that Despacito was the first music video to have over 3 billion views on YouTube. That happened in August of 2017.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Scott.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I used to watch TV with my mom and dad, but now we all like different shows. They really like police dramas, but I think they're boring. I like streaming shows over the internet. I watch programs from all over the world. Some are in Spanish, but I watch TV shows in English too. And that helps me learn English. I love sitting on my sofa watching TV.
I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm very busy at work, so I don't have much time. When I look for things to watch, everything I like is on late at night and I go to bed early. I really like comedy shows, so I watch them on my tablet on demand. I like watching them when I'm eating breakfast. On the weekend, I sometimes binge-watch episodes of a show I like.
I never watch TV. I think there are too many commercials, and I get bored waiting for them to end. I like watching stuff on YouTube, though. Or I download shows and watch those on my smartphone. I usually watch them on the bus on the way to and from school.
When I was a kid, I only used to watch TV shows on Saturday mornings. We had a black and white TV. When I was about 12, we got a color one. It was great watching in color. But there used to be only a few channels, and there wasn't that much to watch. As my children grew up, I remember watching a lot of TV shows with them. I still watch TV with my daughter or granddaughter, but we usually watch something on cable.
What's your personality type? Are you friendly and outgoing? Or are you the quiet type? Do you like to work as part of a team, or do you prefer to work alone? Psychologists try to understand people by studying their personalities. Read on to find out more about 4 different personality types. Type A's are often successful professional people. They are very organized and focused, and they work hard to succeed. Sometimes they can be impatient with coworkers who aren't as hardworking as they are. They enjoy taking risks, but get stressed easily. Type B's are usually easygoing and don't get stressed. They love to spend time with friends and have fun. Usually, they're cheerful and optimistic. Their worst characteristics are that they can be lazy and take a long time to make decisions. Type C's are interested in small details and numbers. They are very good problem solvers. They like to be alone and don't always like working as part of a team. They are often shy and find it hard to communicate. Type Cs get as stressed as Type As at work. Take time to relax, Type Cs. Type Ds aren't as optimistic as Type Bs. In fact, they can be very pessimistic. They often worry, see the negative side of things, and get depressed when things are hard. They like to feel comfortable and don't like to take risks. However, they are patient and hardworking.
Hello, everyone. I think we're ready to begin. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. There are lots of interesting presentations about teamwork this afternoon, so we're very glad you decided to come to this one.
Yes, thank you. As you can see from the slide, I'm Dr. Chris Baxter, and this is my colleague, Professor Lisa Perkins. We'd like to talk about working as part of a team.
Yes, and the types of personalities you need to make your team the most successful.
I think that working as part of a team can be one of the most interesting things we do as people.
But it's not always easy. People have very different personalities. How do you know who will work well together?
One answer is to have different types of personalities on the same team. You don't want a team where all the members are workaholics or all the members are risk takers. That is the worst mistake you can make. A good team needs different personalities and skills.
At the start of the project, choose the leader. He or she must be the best at solving problems, helping team members communicate, and keeping the main goals in mind. A good leader also knows when to lead and when to ask others to take the lead.
Most projects also need an expert. An expert has the greatest knowledge about a subject important to the project. The expert will explain all the most important details to the team. For example, many companies have a technology expert to help their employees with new computer technology.
Another important member of the team is the creative thinker. The creative thinker is often not the most organized person on the team, but he or she will probably have the best imagination and think of good ideas.
Remember that these ideas apply to all kinds of areas. At work for sure, but also any area where people come together as a group. That might be a book club, a band, a sports team, or even a classroom.
I think I'm really like my dad. I'm as tall as he is, and we have the same hair and eye color. We're both really bossy. That makes my sister mad. She says I'm always telling her what to do. My sister is like Mom. She looks like her too. They both have brown hair and blue eyes. Also, they are both creative. My sister is studying art, and my mom makes her own clothes.
We're twins, but we're not identical. We don't look like each other at all. He's got brown hair, and I'm blonde. He wears glasses, and I don't. I think he looks like our dad, but I look like our mom. Our personalities are similar, though. We're both very adventurous. But I'm not as smart as my brother. He's the smartest person I know.
People say I look like my aunt. We both have brown eyes and we're both small. Maybe that's why people sometimes think I am her and she is me. She's only 6 years older than me, so people think we're sisters. She doesn't look like my mom, so it's funny that I look like her. I'm like her in personality, too. We're both a little selfish. I think that's because we both have lots of brothers and sisters.
When I was born, everyone said I looked like my grandfather. But now that I'm older, they all say I look like my dad. He's bald. And so am I. I guess I'm the tallest in the family, although my dad's tall too. Our personalities are very different. I'm easygoing, but my dad's very strict. Maybe it's because he was a teacher.
Thanks for coming to the meeting. I made notes on the things we need to do. I think we need to focus on this year's fundraiser and organize it.
A fundraiser? We tried that last year. You know, we spent a lot of money on t-shirts, and we didn't make any money. I think that's a bad idea.
How much money did we make? And how much did we lose? Alex?
I have that information right here. We spent $456 on t-shirts, and we made $153. We had a lot of t-shirts that didn't sell. We also spent $120 on food and drink.
I think fundraisers are fun. I had a great time at the one last year, and I think people enjoyed it. Okay, so we didn't sell many t-shirts, but maybe we can do something different this year, like have a raffle or a popcorn stand.
A popcorn stand? I hate popcorn.
Okay, maybe not popcorn. How about we sell cookies? Everyone loves cookies. I can make some.
Maybe we should find out how much the ingredients cost and how many we need to make. I'm happy to do that.
Those are all interesting ideas, but I think we need to focus on two things. First, we need to decide on a date for the fundraiser, and second, which person can do which job. I think that would be very useful. Alex, take notes, please. Bonjour, Hotel Paris.
Hello? Do you speak English?
Of course, sir. Good morning. How can I help you?
Good morning. My name is Shiro Ito. My wife and I have a reservation for 4 nights starting tomorrow. But we have a problem. Your website says that check-in time is 2 o'clock, but our flight arrives at 8 a.m. We'd like to check in at about 11 o'clock if possible.
We probably won't have rooms before 2, but I'll check to see if any rooms might be ready early. One moment, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Ito, but I can't check you in at 11. However, I can check you in at 1:30, and I can give you a voucher for a free lunch in our restaurant. They have a very nice buffet.
That's fine. Thank you. We'll eat lunch while we wait.
Good. We'll take care of your luggage at the front desk while you have lunch. I think you'll like our restaurant. The food is excellent, and you won't feel so tired if you have some of our good French coffee.
I'm sure we'll enjoy the meal, but I won't have coffee because I want to sleep in the afternoon.
I understand, sir. Have a good flight, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for your help.
You're welcome, Mr. Ito.
Okay, let's plan the party. First, the date.
Well, the course ends on June 5th, so how about Saturday, June 9th?
That sounds good. It's going to be a big party. Where can we have it?
What about having it in the auditorium here in the Institute? I think they'll give us permission to use it.
That's a good idea, Mika. Could you talk to the director about that?
Yes, I'll talk to her tomorrow morning.
Great! Thanks, Mika. What about music, food, and drinks?
I'll bring the music. I can make playlists, and I'll bring my big speakers.
Awesome! Now, food and drinks?
Can I make a suggestion?
Of course!
Why don't we ask each class to bring their own food and drinks?
Perfect. Next, invitations. Lucas, you're a designer. Can you design an invitation?
Sure, no problem.
I'll let you know about the auditorium tomorrow.
Okay. Can you text me?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's it for now. Let's meet again next week.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Miss Jenkins. Could I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, of course. Come in.
Thanks. We're planning a party for the end of the course. May we use the auditorium for it?
When is the party?
On Saturday, June 9th.
We have an event in the auditorium the morning of the 9th, but you may use it in the evening.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Jenkins.
One thing. You can't stay after 10 p.m.
That's fine, but can 4 or 5 of us stay after 10 to clean up the auditorium?
Yes, you can. I'll let Mr. Carter know.
Thank you, Miss Jenkins. I think it would be a great party.
You're welcome, Zara. Have fun.
I sent an RSVP to accept Amy's wedding invitation. I'm excited about her wedding.
Me too. It's going to be fun.
Can you tell me about weddings here? I mean, what should I wear?
Well, the wedding is in the afternoon, and it's outside, so it isn't very formal. But people usually dress up for weddings.
Okay. I'll wear my new blue dress.
Oh, yeah, that dress will be perfect.
And can you give me some ideas for a wedding gift?
Go to the gift registry online and buy one of the gifts on the list. They'll send it to Amy's house.
Oh, that's easy. Am I also invited to the wedding reception?
Of course. They're getting married at the Green River Event Center, so the reception is at the same place, right after the wedding ceremony.
Could I go to the wedding with you? I don't have a car.
Sure. Rick and I will give you a ride.
Great. Thanks, Jessica.